Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name's Overkill, and you are watching random Batman Arkham Origins gameplay, in case you're wondering, just because it's to do with the topic. And the topic is, basically I'm going to be doing this kind of limited series, unless Rocksteady reveal... Well, I'll go into it in a second. And basically, it is revolving the Arkham Knight. So, for those of you who don't know, the fourth Batman Arkham Origin... The fourth Batman game in the Arkham series was released recently by Rocksteady, the company who made Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, and it is called Arkham Knight, which is a good name, but also unconnected to the game. One of the new main villains is called the Arkham Knight, who is an original character. So it's a completely new character who comes in the last quarter of the series, and that to me and to other fans seems a little bit weird that they would bring in a completely original character when they have so many characters in this series to finish off the story for. And I'm going to be going through in this series and looking at all the possible people that the Arkham Knight could possibly be. Now, the Arkham Knight is original character, so they say, who wears a militaristic batsuit with an A for Arkham, the Arkham A, on his chest. Now, that could be anyone, which is why we're going through on the series, unless Rocksteady release who it is, or whether it is a completely original character like they said in the first place. Now, they have said it's an original character, but for it to be someone completely new is just stupid when they have so many people that it could possibly be as a secret identity for that character. So, our third character, who is Hush. Now, Hush came in as one of the minor characters in Arkham City through a side mission called the Identity Thief, who basically a killer was taking people's faces off and then murdering people and then taking their faces, which he eventually used, and then eventually Batman tracks down Hush, and you find him and you find his place. And for those of you who don't know, Hush is a ex-surgeon friend of Bruce Wayne's, who basically, he is like Bruce Wayne with billionaire parents. Well, not billionaire parents. Parents who were friends of Bruce Wayne's, and basically he doesn't get any of his parents' fortunes, and he becomes a bit of a disgrace to his family, and he grows up and despises Bruce Wayne. And then basically he cuts up all the people's faces that match Bruce Wayne's and builds himself into Bruce Wayne. So basically becomes Batman impersonator, Batman clone almost, because at this point Hush doesn't know the Batman is Bruce Wayne, so Batman has another agenda to deal with, the fact that someone has stolen his identity, his secret identity, and is about to let loose across the whole of Gotham City with the identity of Gotham's most adored celebrity, who is one of the most influential people, who runs an entire company. And okay, he's got scars over his face and he's got a cough, he's got a neck injury, but how do they know who's him or not? Because they could just claim he was hurt badly in Arkham City. So he has a perfect alibi, essentially, that he can wreck Bruce Wayne's life. And tying into the theme of the whole thing, of the whole game, with everyone trying to wreck part of Batman's life in Batman burning, as Azrael's prophecy kind of says. Obviously, it may be physical burning. I'm guessing it's more hypothetical burning, but each villain's said to have some sort of plot to play in the demise of Batman. The demise of Batman could be the fact that Hush brings him down through Bruce Wayne, brings down his company, destroys his personal image, and wrecks him psychologically that way. Now, I haven't talked at all about the Arkham Knight. So you're asking, why is he the Arkham Knight? Why? It doesn't make sense, it's just a Bruce Wayne clone. Well, basically, my suggestion is, firstly, he is an anti-Batman, basically. He is the opposite of Batman. No, well, you're going, no, Prometheus, or Ra. Prometheus, or rather have a complete opposite to, are the complete opposite to Batman. They are the quintessential opposite. Well, Joker would be the opposite to Batman, the complete opposite, but Prometheus and Wrath are both created to purposely be an opposite. But I think through just the way that they've created Hush and the popularity of the Batman Hush comic art, he makes a much more grounded and less stupid and flamboyant villain to be his kind of arch nemesis, to be the Arkham Knight. Now, the battle for the cowl, when Batman officially died, well, it doesn't matter. Lots of people tried to battle to become the new Batman, and there was Jason Todd, who we've said in the last video, which will be in the description, and there was Hush. Now, Hush had his own Batman, where he was an evil. He tried to become Batman. He tried to become the new Batman. He was an evil, gun-wielding Batman. He looked like the Arkham Knight. Now, the Arkham Knight could easily be him, since his knowledge of weapons, since his knowledge of medicine and martial arts, and well, he's not necessarily. He's more clever than a fighter. Now, all we know about the Arkham Knight is he wears a militaristic batsuit with the Arkham A on his chest. Now, Tommy Elliot, the real name for Hush, used to work at Arkham Asylum. He was a doctor there. There's a little Easter egg to him somewhere. Now, that makes for a true Easter egg. That makes for a true... From the ashes of Arkham, the fires shall burn, is what Azrael declares in his prophecy. From the ashes of Arkham, someone who was a nobody at Arkham, someone who was completely worthless, who didn't have everything that Bruce Wayne had, despite having the same background as him, and that is Tommy Elliot, the yin to Batman's yang. Two identical looking people with very different aims, personalities, backgrounds, who essentially came from the same seed but grew in different directions. One more militaristic, one being Batman. Now, that is what I think would make the Arkham Knight Hush. Now, there is less evidence than the Joker or Jason Todd, which is suspicious, but I think it is a more likely option, seeming as Hush just came out of nowhere. He was one of the big surprises. He was one of the last villains in the game to be released in the media officially. So, okay, who have we got here? We've got a character who came in a side mission, walked away, with a massive plot twist being Bruce Wayne, and they didn't seem to care about it in Arkham City. Batman just let him go, and here is how he comes back with a vengeance as the Arkham Knight. Anyway, my name's been Overkill. Thank you for listening. For an overall rating, I'd say a 6 out of 10 probability that the Arkham Knight could be Hush. A bit less than Jason Todd, just because Jason Todd's makes more sense. Even though Hush is in the game, I think Hush will stay as a background villain, a kind of person kind of puppeteering everyone from behind the scenes, like Ra's al Ghul did in Arkham City. A kind of background villain who faces right to the end. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. My name's been Overkill, and that's episode 3 of this. If you want to see any of the other predictions for who the Arkham Knight may be, look in the description for the playlist, and I'll also put all the links to all the characters mentioned in this in the playlist in the description as well. So my name, I've said that already. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.